Game Awards. As I mentioned, they happened literally after, 2 hours after we ended the podcast last week. That's when the Game Awards happened. That seems to be the par for the course now. Everything's happening on Thursday, right after this podcast. So we've got some stuff to talk about. The first thing that I'll toss out here is that this was the biggest year for Game Awards ever in terms of viewership. I actually think also, I watched the whole thing live. I actually think it was also infinitely better than previous years in terms of the pacing. In the previous years, it was like there were times where it was like Jeff Keighley standing on a weird, awkward podium, reading off awards as fast as humanly possible, and it was just awkward. And like the people coming in and off camera, there was no pacing at all. This
year was
actually
better.
Felt like an award show.
All right.
There were still a couple of odd spots that were, it didn't nail it, but damn it, they came awfully close.
Okay.
And it actually felt like an award show for once, which was nice. But the big news for them was that apparently 15 million more people, unique people, tuned in to watch that versus the Oscars. So it's 15 million more.
15?
1.5.
Damn.
So they did big numbers.
Damn.
Like really big numbers.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
I didn't think that kind of viewership was at the Game Awards, or maybe it's just gotten like bigger and bigger every year.
Well, it has. I mean, we're like 7 years deep. We're like 3 or 4, I think, with this iteration of it. But it's existed before. But this is like the 3rd or 4th of the proper in this iteration of it, where Jeff Keighley's really trying to make it like a proper award show, which, as we've now discovered, he seems to have accomplished handily. That's a lot of views.
Damn.
So, let's talk a little bit about some of the winners here.
I honestly was not expecting the number to be that big, like 15 million more than the Oscars.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they were pushing it pretty hard to have streamers like re-stream it, and I'm sure they pooled up all of the numbers from everybody that was
Sure.
watching.
Even if it was only 15 million, that's still a shitload of eyeballs.
It's a fuck ton.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Because they were on TV as well, you have to remember. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is on TV. This is on live, on the internet, and like every fucking live streaming thing available.
Yeah.
Right, it's everywhere.
Damn.
And because they've involved, outlets from around the world to be panels, like, we talked about that last podcast where they've got news places from around the world. People from around the world are watching it. It's like the global award show. It's not just like the Oscars are like just for like North America, basically, and then fuck everyone else. It's like the Game Awards is like properly trying to make something that's global and seemingly doing pretty well.
Sweet.
So,
good for them.
it did really well. So the big one right off the rip that kind of took me by surprise, if I'm going to be honest with you, is that the game of the year went to Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice. That's one of the it's like the Souls.
I've played it.
Yeah. Not a bad game.
Game of the year?
But game of the year, in my opinion, might be a bit of a stretch.
Dude, I would be put honest to God. Like, I haven't played Control. But
I would say Control or Death Stranding are probably the more likely out of this list.
Well, I haven't played Control, but in terms of Sekiro being the winner, I would actually put it to the third less likely.
Yeah. It would be it would be my third pick on this list.
Like my one would go to Death Stranding.
So I'll just for those who can't see this, I'll read the 6.
Yeah.
So the 6 that they chose from were Sekiro, Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, the remake, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and then The Outer Worlds, which I have something to talk about that's fucking weird to me. But yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I would have put, for me, once again, I haven't played Control, but I've heard great things about it.
Yeah.
So I would be putting Death Stranding as Game of the Year, simply because of how big the game is and how much talking and critically acclaimed or critically hated it was.
Yeah.
It seems like one of those type of Oscar.
It is definitely a bit of Oscar baity. If there was a game that was Oscar bait,
that's it.
It's a Hideo Kojima game.
Exactly. So I would have put them first. I probably would have put Smash Bros. Second. I probably would have put Resident Evil third. Outer Worlds. Control, Outer Worlds, and Death Stranding. Or it could be, the last 3 could be switched any which way, because I didn't play Outer Worlds or Control, so I don't know.
You don't necessarily have to play them. I mean, you can tell, generally speaking, by how the gamers, like actual gamers, are reacting to games and how the critics are reacting to it, to have a rough idea, anyway, of what you'd expect.
Yeah.
And
Just crazy that Sekiro won.
Now, at least in its defense, it won a few of it. Like, it was in a couple of categories, and it won a couple of categories as well. So, like, it wasn't that it just won Game of the Year and then it didn't win any other categories. It did win a couple of categories, like you can see here, action adventure.
But
game
I mean, I can see them winning action adventure game, but Game of the Year. It's like, give them action adventure, but you're gonna give them Game of the Year. Damn.
So here's the weird thing for the Game of the Year nominee specifically to me. When I was looking at this, I saw The Outer Worlds. I was like, okay, well, Outer Worlds was relatively well received, but I heard people talking about it for like a week, and then it fucking evaporated, and I haven't heard anyone talking about it. But what I had heard people talk about is kind of like, in a weird way, they're not identical games, obviously, but they were games that people compared a lot. It was Disco Elysium, which is an indie game, and The Outer Worlds. Because they both kind of have the consequences branching story thing as their main focus. And the weird thing about The Outer Worlds even being listed for Game of the Year is that it's only in, if you don't count Game of the Year as a category, because that's just kind of like the big one, right?
Yeah.
It's in 2. It's listed twice.
Damn.
Okay?
Yeah.
It won Goose Egg of the 2 that it was in.
Yeah.
Disco Elysium, not including the Game of the Year category because it's not even there, 4 categories, it won all 4 of them, including, if I scroll down here, a long way, let's see, independent game, narrative, in which it went directly up against The Outer Worlds and beat it. So The Outer Worlds went 0 for 2, lost in narrative to Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium was nominated for 4, won all 4.
I don't even know what that is.
I'm 100% gonna play it. But it's and it's not in Outer Worlds, and then Outer Worlds is listed as the 6th game in the Game of the Year. So I don't know. I can't. What that made me immediately ask is, in my head, was how do they choose not just Game of the Year, but how are they choosing the 6 in each category?
Yeah,
like how are those picked? I don't even know. But that doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me either.
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
Just functionally.
Yeah,
very weird.
All right,
but regardless,
all right. Let's go through the main ones here.
What's some other ones? Art direction was weird to me. Grease really should just have crushed this 100%. I played this. I'm thankful that it got not art direction, but it won another category, thankfully. But it should have won this 210%. Control might be a pretty game, but I don't know, but art direction's a fucking stretch to me. Audio design went to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which should tell you everything you need to know about audio design in the year 2019. It was bad. Community support was another weird one to me. Destiny 2 took it over top of Final Fantasy 14 and Rainbow Six Siege.
Nope and nope. Nope.
Those 2 games did so much more than Destiny 2.
Yeah.
For community support. It's very strange that it won that. Content Creator of the Year went to Shroud. That was good to see because that was like the obvious. For me, it was either him or Dr. Lupo because of the amount of charity work Dr. Lupo does.
Mm-hmm.
Esports event went to League of Legends World Championships. That's not surprising. That event, whether you like or don't like League of Legends, the Worlds event is just better than every other World Championship for any other esport.
Yep, it's true.
Categorically.
Yeah,
every time.
Yeah.
Like the international,
they got it down.
Has more money for like a prize pool sometimes,
yeah.
But the actual show,
but imagine
is just
imagine if League did what the international did.
Oh, and they can, and if they wanted to, they just do it.
Yeah, like they would absolutely massacre the amount of money that Dota can bring in.
Up.
Yeah.
Not surprising that Esports Game of the Year also went to League of Legends there.
Yeah.
Esports host went to Shocks over Golden Boy. That's a tough one for me.
I mean, I don't really know Shocks.
Shocks is good.
Yeah, I don't really know
but
him, so
Golden Boy is mind the pun, is my golden standard for commentators in esports.
Hell yeah.
Esports player went to Booga. Family game. Shout out to Luigi's Mansion 3. I kind of want to play that game.
I've been hearing nothing but good things about it.
Yeah.
I actually low key want to buy that game for the Switch.
Luigi's Mansion 3.
Just chill and play it.
Yeah, so that might be something on my list as well. Fighting game went to Super Smash Bros., but I mean the list that it's in.
It's a good list. Mortal Kombat 11 is actually doing very well.
Yeah, there's that's the only other game in this list that's actually everything else is kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Fresh indie game went to Disco Elysium. Game direction went to Death Stranding. That was a really obvious choice. I think if Death Stranding was going to win anything, this was the category that I was like, yes,
That's it.
that's the one. Games for Impact went to Greece as well. Independent game, Disco Elysium again. I didn't even know there was a Call of Duty mobile, but it won Mobile Game of the Year.
Great.
Yay.
Congrats.
Multiplayer game went to Apex.
Yeah. I mean, I think I
can agree with that.
Yeah.
No, even if
I
it
think
has
they
some
deserve
problems.
It. Yeah, they deserve it.
They definitely deserve. Narrative again, Disco Elysium. Best ongoing game went to Fortnite, which I think is his back-to-back year possibly.
I mean,
it's hard to argue.
It's hard to argue Fortnite. I mean, there's still it's ongoing. So like they still have the momentum. They're still crushing it.
Yeah.
So, and let's be real, the whole Fortnite 2 thing they did was genius. The marketing was god tier.
Yeah.
And I'll even admit the Star Wars shit that they've been promoting with the like in-game stuff where you're watching.
Mark Hamill had to unfortunately sit next to Ninja for a while. That was
but it is what it is. But the in-game stuff was really, really cool to hear. Like they did like an in-game interview with JJ. They had like big cutscenes where you could see like the Millennium Falcon just flying around and shooting. Dude, it was like
they're smart.
Dude,
they bring it.
They've got like worldwide events that happen, and it's in-game, and it's really cool.
Yeah, and they can draw these outside of gaming brands because the player base is so huge that even if the brand looks at it and goes, well, it's gaming, we don't really mess with the gamer category. It's like, well, there's so many people, it just doesn't matter anymore. You just put your brand in there, and you're going to get in front of
a bajillion people,
tens and tens and tens, and
the perfect demographic, right? And if you make it fun and engaging.
Yeah.
Where they feel like they're part of the action, they're going to be more likely to go and buy whatever it is you're selling them.
Mads Mikkelsen won performance for Death Stranding, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. There. Role-playing game with Disco Elysium. I really am. I haven't even played it, and I'm salty Disco Elysium wasn't put in there in place of Outer Worlds. It doesn't make sense to me. Score and music went to Death Stranding. This was a weird thing. I don't know if it was score and music. I think it was. But I think they put that in the pre-show. So it was like a 15, 20 second segment for score and music.
Get fucked score and music.
Which is arguably, if you're going to have the Holy Trinity, it's part of the Holy Trinity in games. Why in the fuck it was sidelined to the pre-show is weird to me. Sports and racing game, Crash Team Racing.
Woo.
Nitro fueled.
I haven't played a single game on that goddamn list.
Yeah, Dirt Rally 2 is a pretty good game, but I mean the rest of it's FIFA for God's sake.
Yeah. 2
of the games in this list are soccer, or football to Europeans.
Yeah. Go Crash Team Racing.
That game actually did apparently turn out pretty good, so I'm not surprised that it is. It's up there. Strategy game, Fire Emblem, and VR game, Beat Saber. Big shock, because there's really on this list, other than No Man's Sky, there's nothing in this list that I give a fuck about. Beat Saber is pretty dope, though.
Everybody fucks with Beat Saber.
Yeah, because it's one of the few good VR games that exists.
Straight up.
Until Half-Life Alyx, coming soon for $7,000 near you. Buckle up.
Hell yeah.
Now, there were some announcements that happened.
What were they?
This. Well, the Xbox was shown off.
Like the physical...
The actual... You didn't see any of this in your timeline?
No.
So they actually showed off the next Xbox. They revealed it.
How did it look?
It looks like a PC. Literally. And I'm not angry about it. A lot of people are upset about the design. Personally, when it comes to a console, especially in the last couple of generations, the thing that has bothered me about the console
I'm
is never...
I'm going to look it up while you're talking.
Is never the design. I'll show you real quick here.
Oh, I did see this.
Yes.
I did see it.
You would have seen it, yeah.
I saw it, yeah.
So, has never been how it's looked.
Yeah.
It would have to be pretty fucking ugly before I go, I don't know if I can buy this because I just can't look at it anymore.
Well, it's an actual box now.
Yeah.
So they have that going for them.
You know what this makes me think, or why I'm happy with this, is that this makes me think that they built this so that the thing is quiet and it runs cool. And it's not about looking like fancy and shit. It's got a big ass grill at the top.
How tall is that?
Well, here's the thing. They were smart. They put the controller next to it, right? So you can take if you took an Xbox One controller,
2.5 of them.
it's about, it looks like, I mean, the perspective's a bit weird. I'd say it's 1.25 wide, maybe a little less,
Yeah.
and maybe 2.5 tall. It's
Yeah.
not that big.
No, it's a small.
It's a pretty small box.
Yeah. It's honestly, it's probably about the height of this.
Yeah.
Of the monitor.
Yeah, it's really not big.
Yeah.
And they've confirmed it plays sideways as well, so if you want to put it sideways, you can put it sideways.
It's like having like one of those little speaker pills.
Basically.
Except the box-shaped one.
It's a box shape.
Yeah, rectangle.
You can see it's got the massive vents here at the top, and it's got one big-ass fan that's venting.
Sweet.
So the nice thing about having a big-ass fan, you know what that means? It's quiet, because it doesn't have to spin as fast to
I
cool
actually
it.
fucks with this look.
I think it looks fine.
Yeah, I actually think
I think it looks good.
It almost reminds me of like a subwoofer.
It's good. Well, that's what I thought when I looked at it. I said, you know what? People are bitching about it, but they're bitching about it because they're going to put this next to the fucking 1990s old ass wood thing that they pulled out of a friggin' secondhand store. They're running a CRT monitor on top of. But this in a modern entertainment system
looks sleek.
is going to match everything else.
Yes, it's nice.
Whether
I
it's your
think
speakers or otherwise.
and I also think it's going to match stuff for the next 5 to 7 years. So
Yes,
it's gonna hold its look.
It's like people wanted it to be like some sort of spaceship
No.
fucking looking thing.
No.
I
actually don't want that.
You know what I don't want? The PS5 dev kit.
I don't want an Alienware Xbox.
No. It's
just
got a little green light that's at the top here in the middle that's like a soft glow green in the grill.
Great.
And that's all. That's it. That's it. That's
I want it quiet.
Yeah.
I want it working.
I want it to run cool.
And I want it to run cool.
And that's what this looks like it's going to deliver. So, thumbs up.
I don't even care about Xbox. I probably won't even own this thing, but it does look nice.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, anyway. The name, however, is getting people a bit confused.
I don't like the name.
So here's the thing: when old Philly went up on stage and he gave his spiel, they were just talking about this one specifically, which is the Xbox Series X, and they only referred to it as the Xbox Series X. So everyone just assumed that the next Xbox full name was the Xbox Series X, but that's not the case. I didn't see it that way, but I can see why the layperson or somebody who didn't stop for a couple of seconds and think about what that might mean would think that. The real thing is they're actually just calling it the Xbox. So it's almost like a refresh. There are different SKUs. So the Series X is the top performing Xbox.
Okay.
And then my guess is you're going to have a Series S. That'll be a step below that. And then maybe, and if they don't do that, if they don't have 3 SKUs, if it's only 2 SKUs, my guess is it will be S, D, or E. I don't know what they're going for, but S makes sense because they've used S.
What
in the
about
past.
S and S Plus?
Well, I don't think they're going to do pluses like phones, but I think you're going to get a Series D or E, D, E, or S, but D or E for digital only. So they have a digital-only console now, so no disk drive, no nothing. You download all your games.
Nah.
And it saves you $50 to $60 on the console.
I'll pay the $50, $60.
Yeah, that's fine. But for lots of other people, they're like, fuck it, I'll go with that. And
I'm going to keep it real. And this is no disrespect to anybody.
What?
But if you can't afford the extra $50 to buy a brand new console, you probably shouldn't be buying the brand new console.
A lot of people look at it less about that and more
unless
about
they don't unless they download their games and they're like, well, fuck.
And a lot of people do now, right?
Then sure, but I mean, if you penny pinching and you trying to get in day one on a motherfucking brand new Xbox,
what some people look at it like is they'll buy the console and then the $50 or $60 if they download, let's say, the vast majority of their games,
then it's worth it.
Then they get that, and then
an extra game
for
or something.
Parent, they buy a game on day one, they get an extra game. Right?
That makes sense.
So they've got that SKU. Is my guess either E for essentials or D for digital, and then they're going to have the X obviously, and then maybe the S if there was going to be 3 models. That doesn't account for the way they're positioning this. It makes it hard to guess as to whether or not we're going to have let's call it an XS.
Yeah,
where 4 years into the life cycle, like in this last generation, they get the Xbox One X like we have now, but for the next generation.
Yeah.
But the way they're positioning it is it looks like maybe that's not their plan, but it's hard to say because I don't even know what you would do with the naming convention. Like the Series XS, the Series X, Triple X.
Yeah.
Like where do you go from there? So I would say that's my best guess is that we're going to have 2 or 3 SKUs. X is at the top. Maybe you get a mid-tier one. and then you're going to get the digital-only version, which is no disc drive. Just download all your shit. You're done. The other thing about having the disc drive, too, is and why I can save some money is that the Blu-ray drives. So for those that want to watch Blu-rays through their Xbox or whatever, then that's it. And it's also why it drops the price so much, is because the Blu-ray drive is not cheap.
Not at all. No.
So especially when you're licensing it from your competitor.
They're gonna make you pay.
Sony. They're gonna make you pay. So so that happened.
How crazy would it be
reveal.
if they're like, you know what, bro? You actually can't have it under any circumstance. How crazy would that be?
That would be rough. I'm not even sure if legally they could do that.
That's what I was thinking. Like, are they allowed to deny?
That might be a not a non-compete, but that might be like a
like, how crazy would it be? Is like, bro, your console will never play a Blu-ray.
Like, okay, I'll just use HD DVD.
Dude, that would kill them, dude. That would
suck some
fucking
balls, yeah.
kill them.
So, anyway, that got announced. That was the really big one. And then there were several games that got announced, one of which we're going to talk after this. I'll talk about it a little bit after this, or just take a little peek-see at it.
Little peek-see. I like a little peek-see.
We can also show you... Well, actually, you know what? I can just show you this trailer. I didn't plan on it, but you know what? Makes sense. Did you ever hear about the game Hellblade?
No.
Okay, so it was made by one of the smaller studios Microsoft bought after they came up with this game.
Okay.
But it was Ninja Theory, I think is the name of them. They are making the sequel to that game. Now, the original was already graphically really fucking impressive. And then what they did for this is that for the reveal of the Xbox Series X, they wanted to show if you use damn near everything this console was capable of, what it would look like. So they did it in-engine real-time environment. Now, it's like a real-time cutscene. It's not like the gameplay would look like this, but it shows what the console is capable of in a real-time environment, and it looks... it's Uncanny Valley because it's so fucking good.
Damn. All right. Is this what we're talking about?
I'll give... So,
let me fucking see it. Let's stop hyping it and let's fucking watch it. Hyping me up too much.
Let's see... So we'll take a look at this. Get the old headphones on here.
All right, I've already got them ready to go.
All right. Those bad boys on, and let's give her a little live reaction, shall we? It's 2 minutes.
Damn, that's a lot.
They're showing it off. I don't know how loud this is going to be. Let's see.
I like it loud.
I like the logo of the Xbox. When they changed it to this and it was like the flat, it just looks good. Yeah, Ninja Theory, yeah.
All right. So is this like what you're talking about?
Yes. This whole thing.
In real time?
Yes, to my knowledge. All in-engine real time. Now, like anything that's in-engine, it doesn't mean that this is what the game will play like, but it's what the console can crank out.
Yeah, it's like what it's capable of doing.
Yeah.
Yikes. Fucking weird.
It's weird, but it looks crazy.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's very impressive.
Even for CG, this would be impressive. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. But the fact that that's, like, possible.
Yeah.
Like, imagine being the character right now in front of this person.
And they're doing that shit. And because it's in engine, it wouldn't have to cut to, like, a cutscene necessarily. Yeah. Anyway. Wild. So that's pretty good looking.
Yeah.
So there it is, Xbox, and then Series X is underneath. So people didn't really pick up on the fact that the Series X part meant that it was multi-SKU, but... Excuse me.
Damn.
Yeah. So that was the thing that they showed off alongside of talking about the release of the console.
Okay.
That
was impressive.
Yeah, pretty crazy looking. And the game, I mean, the game itself is like, I never played the original, but it's the look of it is like some, it's like a mix between like some Celtic satanic
Looks like some weird shit.
Viking shit.
Yeah, it looks like some weird shit.
Yeah.
But with some really cool graphics and some cool fight stuff, I'd fucks with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd fucks with it.
So there you go. So there you go. So that was the Xbox reveal.
All right.
And again, the thing about that Xbox that we already know as well is that backwards compatible with the current gen Xbox stuff as well. Plus anything that they've been doing backwards compatibility with for this generation of Xboxes in terms of like, the original Xbox stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Same will work with this one. So if it works on the Xbox One or Xbox One X, it's working on
That's cool.
the Series X.
All right.
So next up, we did get something out of PS5.
All right.
But it wasn't the console.
Damn.
We saw a game before the console, which was a little weird to me. That seems like putting the cart before the horse.
A little bit.
So
just a little bit.
So we're showing off a game that's specifically, a PS5 demo, but we haven't shown a console off yet. So a little odd, but we saw it. It's called Godfall. I'm going to be honest with you. As nice as it looks, even the name is generic, and it looks generic. It could be a really dope game because it looks. We haven't seen very much gameplay. There's like a friggin' GIF that shows you like 3 seconds of gameplay. I'll show you here real quick. Literally, this is like all we're running on. No. You know what?
Yeah, this is one of these sites that just likes to bombard you with a whole bunch of pop-up ads.
Hey, we're making like $3 a month on advertisements on this website, and we'd like it if you could help us make that 3 cents.
Yeah, I see this now.
So this is like it looks like to me you've got like a Darksiders meets Dark Souls meets like
Paragon.
Like a Paragon.
Actually looks just like Paragon.
Like meets like a Warframe, like from a visual perspective.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. It looks super generic.
It does look. It's
bland.
high fantasy, super generic.
Yeah.
So they showed this trailer off, but we'll look at the trailer and we'll see.
All right.
The trailer doesn't show any gameplay, mind you.
Oh God.
I
fucking hate like CGI cutscenes to stories you don't care about.
Here's the thing. If you're gonna show me a CGI trailer before you've even shown me gameplay, you better make that CGI trailer the most fucking incredible experience.
Yes.
That makes me want to see the gameplay.
Yes.
If you don't do that, I'm already checking out.
It's very rare you ever get that in a video
super
game.
Rare.
Like, they need to call up Christopher Nolan and say, bro, how much
do
do we
trailer.
pay you to do trailers? Because, I'm not a huge fan of CG trailers for games. I don't know.
All right, let's see here. What do we got?
All right, let's see it. Godfall.
So this is all in engine as well.
All right. Not really feeling the intensity. I'm going to keep it real.
Very quiet, too.
It is quiet. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
No, we're maxing on volume there.
All right, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
Like, this just looks generic. And honestly, graphics-wise...
It doesn't look that great graphics-wise. That's something that I'd see right now. Honestly.
Like, odds are the effects that they can put on are probably better. Like, there's going to be some lighting that's going to look better, like on the armor and shit. But it's not blowing me away. It doesn't look like a huge leap forward graphically.
Just to start the apocalypse.
Beautiful, deadly, right in our way.
Doesn't even
Bad
sound
voice
like...
acting.
Oh, my God. It sounds like he came straight out of fucking Call of Duty. That's a little better, that voice.
Yeah, that was better.
Guy doesn't sound like a god. Or maybe these are gods that are falling from the sky. Godfall. It's a big nope from me, dog. I'm just going to keep it real.
That's like if okay. So, it could turn out to be...
Fine.
A perfectly
like,
good
and then
game,
you put PlayStation 5, dude. No, this is not what... This is not
This is not the okay.
This is not the coming out party
Again,
you want to have,
if
bruh.
If you're gonna show off the power of your console before you even show the console at all,
Yeah.
you do what Xbox did. You
Yeah.
show the console,
Yeah.
and then you get your in-house guys to go, all right, give us 2 minutes of as much as this console can provide you,
Yes.
and we'll show that.
Like, they should have showed us that game in a
Yes.
demo clip with 5 other games, like very quickly, like moving
Something.
through, like Godfall, fucking blah blah blah,
Yeah.
fucking Eat Your Mom's Asshole, and like all the different games, and just show me like 20-second clippets. I don't need.
To be honest, Eat Your Mom's Asshole might actually be a better game than Godfall.
Sounds like it. Can I see the topics?
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
I'm gonna need them myself.
There you go.
So there you go. It could turn out to be a perfectly good game. It looks like a game that at best it's going to hit like a 7 out of 10 if they get everything right. Because it just looks so generic. If your game is going to be that generic, you need to absolutely nail
Yes.
almost everything because nothing else is carrying it. It looks generic. It sounds generic. Everything else about it is just run of the mill. So you're going to have to do the combat's going to have to be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The boss fights or some shit's going to have to be really epic. There's going to have to be some major set pieces. But right now, it just looks like another, you wouldn't call it AAA, I'd call it A. It's like an A game.
I wouldn't even give
it that? Is this not another B movie?
It's a B movie, bro.
All right.
It's a B movie. You never know. It could be a John Wick, right?
It could be. Could come out of nowhere and just take you by surprise.
Could be a John Wick.
Boom. There you have it.
But it looks like that game that you talked about the other week, that you've played the playthroughs of, with a dude with the sword and shit. Like a monster or whatever it is.
You're blowing my mind right now that I can't
Somebody in chat
figure out what you're saying.
I'm pretty sure it's a monster. Maybe it's not a monster. It's like a knight dude. Big knight.
A big knight dude.
I don't know. It reminds me of that game. Like
Darksiders.
Darksiders.
That's what I said. It's a mixture of like Darksiders and shit. Yeah,
That's it.
Except they don't have Mark Hamill on as a voice actor for one of the characters.
No, they have some other dude that sounds like he came from a C game.
Probably not.
Going, yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like a
maybe
god.
no voice acting at all in that
Yeah.
would have been better.
Yeah. Just have the crazy
Probably.
music and
Just
have
show
the
me,
monster
like,
make noise.
Hydra coming out of the sky.
Yeah.
And we're good.
Anyway.
So yeah, it wasn't the game so much as it was just weird to me that they were showing a game and like slow revealing PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Like I'm
On
supposed
one,
to be
a
excited.
game that didn't look all that good,
Yeah.
and then 2 is if I was supposed to be excited when I haven't even seen the console yet. All I've seen at a PlayStation 5 is one of the ugliest dev kits of all time.
Yeah.
And that's it. We don't know if it's backwards compatible, and if it is, we don't know to what degree. We have almost nothing on PS5. And then this is the first taste. If we get this run of the mill high fantasy game.
Yep.
That looks like it could just come out today and look that good on the Xbox One X.
That shit looked fire. that Xbox game looked fire. I'm not gonna lie, and that's a cutscene.
Yeah, I mean the original game also looks pretty good. I'm gonna be honest. The original probably looks better than the PS5 game we just saw there. More though that we got that wasn't from the show, so we're kind of done with for the most part the show stuff at this point. There were some funny bits. Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker from the Muppets did an entire segment.
I saw that.
That was
some
funny shit.
That's funny.
And I really want Untitled Beaker Game as a DLC to Untitled Goose Game because I think that shit would sell like hotcakes. Like the whole internet was like hashtag Untitled Beaker Game after that shit. They should probably do it. Otherwise, yeah, show went over well. Can't complain about it. Reggie came out.
Good old Reggie.
Out of retirement, came out on stage, gave a banger speech because it's Reggie. Reggie knows how to talk, and yeah, it was a good time. So for me in general, thumbs up. This is the first Game Awards where I'm going to give it a thumbs up, at least from a production standpoint.
Yo, it looks like it went well.
Way better.
Yeah, it looks like it went well.
Orders of magnitude better than before.
To the point where it's actually it's starting to look like super professional and like a legit thing that people can look forward to every year.
Yes, exactly. Which is like Jeff Keighley's wet dream.
Yeah.
So
good on him.
All the power to him.